things. And all the things that Neymar and Messi are doing, I just laugh and say, I've seen them on ringside. I've seen them live.
That's your man. Hey, special.
Thank you very much for making me talk to my role model Nelson Teenage Dladla, which I was named after him when I was growing up. Every name that is God, they all call me with those names. That's my role model. I got the role model there with you, Rob. Best player I've ever seen. That's why I called myself by his name. Even my company name is Gaba.
Yeah, David Wadisa. I remember being at the SABC, people were looking for that VHS tape or that beta tape or whatever it was. It was gone. It was one of the tapes that nobody can find. One of the most popular games in the history of football in this country was that Mainstay Cup final. Does that rank up amongst the best for you?
Against Cape Town City for me.
That's the one. We'll find it.
From goalkeeper till that way, without anybody touching the ball.
To do it twice. You know what the thing is? If it happened now, VAR would have called it and they said no, goal disallowed for disrespect.
You go in your pools and phuze kakhulu amanzi. Just drink a lot every day, even during Christmas. Drink a lot.
Robert Marawa, live on 947. Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live. #MSW. Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. #MSW.
Oh yeah, we couldn't wait. It is Reaction Monday. Thank you for joining us. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947. Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
Not to be, I'm afraid. It's a tough lesson for the young South African. And at the end of a very hard week's golf, Johannes Veerman is the last man standing. He is the Nedbank champion. A second DP World Tour title for the 32-year-old American. And you can sense the relief, can't you? It has been coming, the form's been coming for Johannes. Now the emotion.
You can tell it means a lot. You can tell it means a lot.
To all those lucky souls that managed to head off to Sun City to witness the Nedbank Golf Challenge, well, you'd have seen the American golfer Johannes Veerman claiming his second title on the European Tour after winning the Nedbank Golf Challenge in South Africa by one shot following that bogey on the second. Was it the 72nd hole by the home favorite Ulrich Potgieter? That was yesterday. So Ulrich Potgieter, you would have seen the crowd favorite, man. Didn't quite work out for him in the end, but hey, congratulations are due in large numbers to the American golfer Johannes in such a great showing.
It feels amazing. It was surreal 35 minutes ago, and it didn't quite hit me, but then when I got picked up and they were singing around me, then it quite hit me. It's just words can't describe, things like this. It's a surreal feeling, especially, I was kind of lurking around there the whole week, but I have been as well in previous tournaments, the last 4 or 5 that I've played, but then you don't quite get the job done, you finish 5th or 8th or whatever. So to come in the back 9 and to have a shot at it and to walk away with the trophy is just like, what just happened? It means a lot. It means a lot to me and my family and my team. My family, we sacrificed so much. They came out with me. We had a business that we sold that my wife ran, and then she sold it so we could be together as a family out here on the road. So we traveled with 2 kids, a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, and it was a lot of work to say goodbye to friends and family for a whole year. So and to essentially have it pay off it's relieving, it's satisfying, it's all of those words.
Fantastic.
And of course, all eyes were on the dramatic Formula One. Hey, Lando Norris securing McLaren's first Formula One Constructors' Championship in 26 years with victory in the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Drama as usual.
For the first time since 1998, McLaren are Constructors' Champions because Lando Norris takes the checkered flag and wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It was all McLaren needed to get their car home in front. McLaren gave them a great challenge. Ferrari gave them a great challenge. Second and third is all they could muster. Lewis Hamilton is now ahead of George Russell, and he has got him from 16th on the grid. Hamilton in his final race for Mercedes. The race, they say, that every dream needs a team. Well, every team needs a dream. And the dream tonight was for Lewis Hamilton to charge through the field, and that is what he's done. It's another brilliant drive from Lewis Hamilton to take fourth. He misses out on the podium, but what a race he has given. What a race Charles Leclerc has given from 19th on the grid as well. Those two both deserve driver of the day. McLaren, for their efforts this year, deserve that Constructors' Championship, and how great to see both crews out in the pit lane saying well done after an epic Formula One season.
So McLaren are Formula One Constructors' Champions, though, for the very first time in 26 years after Lando Norris beat Ferrari's Carlos Sainz to win the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Now, McLaren last won the Drivers' Championship back in 2008 with Hamilton, but their team's title drought went all the way back to 1998.
To end the season like this is perfect. So just a congrats and a big thank you to everyone in McLaren, everyone in Papaya, everyone who supported us this year, because it's been a tough one, but for us to win a Constructors after 26 years is pretty special.
Now, Norris kept a cool head, though, right up front to triumph and taking the checkered flag by 5 seconds from the Formula One teammate. That's Carlos Sainz, which confirmed, though, that the Constructors' crown had gone to the Papaya squad.
Congratulations, first of all, to McLaren. They deserve this championship. They've been rock solid in the last 2/3 of the championship, and they've been incredible. From our side, I think we can be proud of the effort and the championship we put together. It's been a tough year, but definitely a year where we need to be proud of, and hopefully be back here soon.
Right, so Leclerc's brilliant drive after starting 19th on the grid kept the tension high. Had anything happened to Norris's car, now Ferrari would have clinched the title.
It hurts, obviously, because when season is so close until the end, and it was a hard hit on Friday when we knew we had the penalty. We still gave it all, and we just come short of our goal, which is a shame. But at the end, we've tried everything.
Good evening, Rob. I don't think 8 games are enough for me to cast doubt on Nabi and his technical team. Looking at international and local trends around rebuilding a team, looking at 2009 Barcelona's Guardiola team, Dr. Pizzo's Sundowns, Rivero's Pirates, and Bayern Leverkusen under Alonso, and there are similar patterns with Chiefs. Just need to be patient, but I think come January transfer window, we need to reinforce possibly Dumisang Aribonye or Yonela Mbutuma up front, but tactically I think the team is looking good, but what an atmosphere at Orlando Stadium, Pirate supporters, and you could see that Al Ali came to play for a draw, putting Ikram Taufik in the middle field to reinforce the structure and not allow Pirates to play, but the eastern side of the spectators in the stadium was electrifying, particularly when Happy Jele came down to join the supporters. What an atmosphere, but traffic coming out of Orlando Stadium was a nightmare. Thank you so much, Tebogoye.
Thank you so much indeed. Just wrapping things up from what happened over the weekend, saying that 8 games are not enough to judge the man who's coaching. That England, well, I need a feel-good, positive story, and I think we might just have one here. Simply because there were emotional scenes, though, unfolding last night as the Blitzbokke decisively claimed the Cape Town Sevens title in front of an electrifying crowd down in Kaapstad. Well, they delivered an exceptional performance, though, in the second half, overpowering the Olympic champions France in the final. Now, thousands and thousands of fans, including Springbok captain Siya Kolisi, well, they witnessed this historic moment as the Blitzbokke emphatically overcame their home hoodoo, securing a 26-14 victory after a very tense 14-14 tie at halftime. Now, the weekend, the Blitzbokke showed a revitalized spirit, starkly contrast, though, with the team that finished a disappointing sixth at the season opening event in Dubai in the previous week. Now, Coach Philip Snyman joins us to quickly reflect on a remarkable achievement over the weekend. We head off to Stellenbosch now, where I'm sure he is wearing a smile. Philip, thank you so much for your time. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Asia. I know, definitely still a massive smile on my face. I think I still will be there for the next couple of days. The guys made me tremendously proud. So, and I'm proudly South African as the rest. I'm a fan of the guys, so I'm really happy for them.
Oh, the hoodoo is now broken.
Yes, I think going into this tournament, if you asked me before the time, take a Dubai win and maybe a fourth place in Cape Town. Then I would have said, listen, I'd rather take an 8th place in Dubai and a win in Cape Town. And obviously the circuit now is so competitive, there's no easy games. And we had our moments in Dubai, but I think the guys made a big step up. We fine-tuned one or two things, especially on defense. And yeah, it showed during the weekend, and the guys were up for it. They bought into the plan and they executed it out in the field. So they're the real heroes of the weekend.
I mean, when you win at home, for the first time since 2015, what does that mean to you, Philip?
Yes, I was still playing back then, and you only have that opportunity once a year to play in front of the home ground. And over the last couple of years, a little bit of a disappointment playing in front of Cape Town Stadium and your home tournament and not being able to go all the way. And I think for us as a system, this means a lot, and also for South Africa and for Cape Town and for all the support out there. I think it meant a lot. It came at the right time. Slowly but surely we were getting things right. I think qualifying for the Olympics very late, and then bronze medal at the Olympic Games. Then Dubai, we started off well, and obviously didn't get the full result. And then in Cape Town, we ended the season on a very high. So I think for us, the system, and for Springbok Sevens and for SA Rugby, it's a massive result.
I'm glad you mentioned the fact that back in 2015, you were still playing at that stage. Now, for you, that transition, moving from being a player to being a coach, now, what are the lessons that you've been learning along the way?
Yes, I think some of the management asked me before the final. They asked me, listen, don't you think the guys are a little bit too calm? And I mentioned to them, I said, the biggest thing, and if there is something that you can do wrong, is to psych yourself too much up before the final in the warm up and get yourself all fired up, because then you'll burn too much energy, and then later in that game you'll run out of steam. And the calmer you can be in the beginning of the warm up, and even when you walk out onto the field, then the moment 50,000 people are singing the anthem, and you have the whole backing of South Africa behind you, that's enough motivation, and with that Springbok on your chest, so you don't need any more motivation than that. And I think that helped us. We were very calm before that final. We shut out all the outside noise. We kept the circle quite small during the week and on game day, and I think we got a lot of energy from the crowd, and the guys played fantastically. And like you said, especially in the second half, when normally teams will run out of steam, we kicked into another gear, and the guys performed, and they managed to keep France scoreless. And France is they're a very dangerous side. They won the Olympics, and we kept them scoreless in the second half. So I think our prep and the plan was good for the last tournament.
And what were you saying to the guys at halftime? I mean, 14 aside, anything could happen. It could go either way. But I just think that the pendulum had kind of swung in South Africa's favor then. What is the strongest point that you were trying to drill into the guys in the change room?
Yes, I think for me the biggest thing, obviously, we only have that 2 minutes at halftime, so you can't really go to the change room. And during that halftime chat, we started something this week. We call it Golden Ball. And I said, listen, for the next 5 minutes, let's have Golden Ball, and that means whenever you you get your hands on the ball and then you keep your ball, and that means getting quicker to the breakdown, making smarter decisions, and that's exactly what happened. We kept our ball for the first 3 minutes after France dominated ball position in the first half. We kept our ball and we managed to put two early tries on the board in the second half, and that basically sealed it. And the moment France was chasing the game, we were actually defending the last minute with 6 guys with a yellow card, but it was too little too late. I think the guys managed to peak at the right time. They managed to score points at the right time, and in sevens it's very important. Once that momentum shift happens, and if you don't capitalize, then you're in trouble. And when the momentum shift happened in the second half, we got ball and the guys capitalized and they put the points on the board.
And you're quite happy with the new players, though, the integration of them into the team?
Yes, definitely. I think that's where we have 2 goals this season. Obviously, you want to be as successful as possible, and with the new series, there's no such thing as a bad team anymore. So it's almost it's very difficult to play in all the finals, but we want to be consistent in that quarterfinal, consistent in that semi-final, consistent in the top 4. And then also is to bleed the new generation of 7 players, because we want to be a pathway in SA Rugby. In 3 or 4 years' time, the new Kurtley Orange must run out for the Springboks, the Cheston Colbys, the Kwagga Smiths, and that's exactly what we did this weekend. Donovan Don came through, he made a massive step up only in his second or third tournament. Zander Reinders, probably one of the first guys in the last 10 years that got a cap without a contract. So I think we were doing a good job of having that combination of the experienced guys and also bringing the new guys in. And sometimes it's easier. Sometimes you're forced to make a decision due to injury, and then you need to be brave. And I think it worked in our favor this week in having that combination of fresh legs, a lot of energy, and also some valuable experience with the senior players.
Fight till the end you did. Hey, Philip, this is for you and the team.
Thank you very much, guys. Massive thanks, and thanks to all the support out there. This one is for South Africa.
Absolutely. What's the next step, Philip, in terms of the calendar?
Yeah, next step, obviously, we'll have our year-end function tomorrow night, and then have 2 light sessions this week, and then go a little bit of a Christmas break, and then we start on the 2nd of Jan, starting our prep again, and then we head over to the land down under. We're going to Perth, and then 5 more tournaments left for the season. Currently, we tied 3rd on the lock with France. So we were getting there. So I think this will give us a massive confidence boost, but still, hopefully, and I believe this is only the start. There's still a lot of hard work that we need to do and put in, and then the Springbok Sevens team can be successful.
Yeah, success is coming your way. Philip, thank you so much indeed. Well done to you, your technical team. Well done to the lads. Well done to Cape Town indeed for coming through in numbers at the Cape Town Stadium. All the best and have a fantastic Christmas.
Thank you very much, guys. The same to you, and thank you for your continuous support. We really appreciate it, and have a Merry Christmas.
Philip's name there is in Stellenbosch, the Blitzbokke coach, just talking about the success that they had in Cape Town. And well done, guys. Hey, they deserve it. Kind of breeding so many champions these days.
Live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
This summer, Lotto Star is giving away 1 million rand in cold, hard cash every single week. 5 weeks, 5 guaranteed millionaires. Could it be you? Bet every week from 24 November to qualify for the weekly draw. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Star is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
So we did a thing. A full commitment kind of thing. We've partnered with Sixt to bring worldwide to your doorstep. So you see how that's a serious thing. Because that's what you deserve. We know you're the GOAT. So premium it is. Premium service. Premium vehicles. Premium you. Premium us. Sani Sixth is all about adding extra to ordinary. Extra reach, extra countries, so you can be extra premium worldwide. Be the greatest of all time and rent Sani Sixth.
Next, please.
Can I swipe my Absa Visa card for my share of 100 million rand in real cashback?
Yep, your card does that, sir.
Can I also swipe for a chance to win one of 10 cars?
Oh, absolutely. Your card does that too.
This summer, keep swiping your Absa Visa card to get your guaranteed share of 100 million rand in real cashback. Plus, stand a chance to win one of 10 cars with 6 months insurance. Your story matters. Absa. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
Babe?
Yeah?
I was thinking of fixing the leak in the roof this weekend.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, but I had Flash Harry fix it last weekend.
But I was Wait, Flash Harry?
Yeah.
Are you seeing someone?
Not everyone knows Flash Harry is the expert in DIY waterproofing solutions since 1975. If there's a leak, Flash Harry can fix it.
Oh, you know, I was gonna fix it.
Flash Harry, it just works. In a flash. Available in all good hardware stores. Find your nearest stockist at flashharry.co.za.
Sawana Gogo.
Sanibona zingane zami.
Gogo, can I connect to the Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi? Hey manje le.
Gogo, you said you had fiber at home.
Fiber? Yes, I have bran muffins, brown bread.
No, Gogo, e-fiber, like internet.
Oh yes, usho leyo. I have internet. Izake. Let us video call your mama. Simtshele, you are here safe.
For blazing fast fiber, visit purefiber.co.za. AfriHost, pure internet joy.
Welcome to Incredible.
Betway SA20, where the best in the world come to play.
You want to be there?
Here's joy. It's flippin' Roy. Catch that moment you won't miss. Friends and family, side by side, welcome to the incredible Betway SA25.
I don't think there's anything better. Get your tickets at sa20.co.za. Welcome to Incredible.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Boto Teenage Dladla is in studio. The day that you were being inducted was the day that the great masterpieces Moripe had sadly passed away. Maybe we got a stadium that was named after him.
Why not do it for other players also? Because we've got players just like myself in Guatemala, Teenage Dladla Stadium. You go to or statues of those players who did well during their era.
They choose to name stadiums after politicians
who never played soccer.
If you had a teenager's way, what should FNB Stadium be named?
Yeah, we call it Lucas Khadebe or Jomo Sono Stadium.
You are humble indeed, because out of the names that you mentioned Jomo, you mentioned Lucas Khadebe, you didn't mention Teenage Dladla.
For me, it's best for people to talk about me, not me talking about myself.
But you know how good you were.
Yes, I know.
You know how brilliant you were.
Yes, I know.
You know how exciting you were.
Yes, I know.
You know how kutuzaring you were.
Hashtag MSW. Hashtag MSW.
Great evening to MSW shareholders. Today it's a reaction Monday, Darop. I've got a lot on my mind. First and foremost, I'd like to pass my pain and my heartbreak to Kaizer Chiefs management with what they've been doing in not getting the coach good players. I think this is going to be the downfall of our technical staff or our technical bench in getting the desired results and going forward and go back to the EPL games. What a game between Tottenham Hotspur and Chelsea. What a game. And La Liga, what a game between Atletico Madrid and Sevilla yesterday night. It was a game of goals. Good week ahead, bro. Patrick here.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Hey. Griezmann came in with that surefire goal in the end. It was a ding-dong battle, man. I love those late nights La Liga matches. There's always something happening there, but a goal fest it was. Talking about a fest, it's no goal fest because this gentleman here, and we've spoken about him before, and this is the current breaking news all over the sporting world right now, and we'll break that news to you in a second. The Premier League referee David Coote has been sacked. So the PGMOL, or PGMOL as they call it, and I quote what they say. He says, actions were found to be in serious breach of the provisions of his employment contract, with his position deemed untenable. Supporting David Coote continues to be important to us, and we remain committed to his welfare. So nice words there at the end about supporting him. But I think the important thing is that he has now been sacked, is fired. He can't referee again. And I think we all know the background of the story, the comments, the videos that went viral, that were circulating after his comments and what he said about Jurgen Klopp. I think a lot of people thought somehow that was AI at work, but it definitely wasn't. All right, let's give you a couple of stories as well before we introduce our guest who is in studio. England have levelled the one-day international series against South Africa with a clinical 6-wicket win after the hosts' chaotic middle order collapse in Durban. Now, the Proteas were in control at 72 for 2 after 16 overs before calamity came through, losing 5 wickets for 4 runs in the space of 12 balls, with England spinner Charlie Dean taking a hat-trick split across the 2 overs. Now, here's the Proteas women's coach, Mandla Ashimbi.
It's gone high, and this will be the final wicket. What a catch, held on to by Ryan Rickleton. He takes a bit of a tumble, but that's it for South Africa. Victory by 109 runs. A 5th test win in a row for the South Africans. And how to go about keeping your World Test Championship hopes alive. And won the series, the first Asian team to do so in South African conditions. But not to be for... In this 2024 series, as you see Ryan Rickleton taking that final catch. Maharaj with ball in hand, the opportunity to lead his team off the field here at Dapperbet St. George's. The 5 for 76 for Maharaj. South Africa, a victory by 109 runs.
I think the most important thing for me now is just to connect with the players, understand what makes them and what things they like and what they don't like. Trying to get to a point where I understand what makes them tick and what makes them perform at their best. And then obviously once I've figured that out, and then I can make sure that I put in an environment that will just feed into those type of personalities so that the performances can be consistent throughout. We played nicely the other night. And then we come here, and then it's like 2 different worlds, and that's one of the things that I want to rectify with this team, is that we need to learn to be consistent and make sure that we bring the same performances throughout. Even when we lose, but we must lose with dignity. It mustn't be so high, and then the next game we're very low. There must be a happy medium somewhere, and that will build confidence in the players, and then hopefully, that's the type of processes that we're going to have to follow for us to make sure that we become a force.
Can they become a force? Now, the Polokwane City team, they bounced back to winning ways and style as they claimed a 2-0 victory over Kaizer Chiefs in a Betway Premiership game at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. That game happened yesterday.
Materializes from that. 2 chances in quick succession for Kaizer Chiefs. The latest falling to Blitzbokke, and they could wrap it up here potentially. Polokwane City, big chance. Brandon Pearson makes the save, driven home for the second, and that will wrap it up as Romabu gets his first of the season.
It was that interception by Umko on the left-hand side. That interception there, because the game is so open, Kaizer Chiefs has been piling so much pressure. Played the ball there to try and find. But also like Peterson came out very nice, but it fell very, very nicely there from Ramabu. And it's such a great work that has been done by Unko on the left-hand side. Seeing the
Right, still on the local game, Amazulu's Betway Premiership woes deepened as they were undone by a single moment of brilliance from TS Galaxy at the Mbombela Stadium. Puso Ditejane introduced a second-half substitute, needed just minutes to make an impact, and pouncing on a lapse in concentration, I guess, by the Usutu defense. He coolly slotted the game's only goal in the 75th minute. Here's the Usutu coach, Atazwane.
Yeah, look, it's one of those things where I think we started well, we dominated. Then 20 minutes into the game, I think we dropped the tempo because we thought it was becoming easy for us. And we allowed them now to get back into the game and build the confidence. And I think first half could have been better. We still created, quite a few chances. Unfortunately, Ethan was having a knee problem, so we had to pull him out because we didn't want to risk. We still have a lot of games, ahead of us, and just hoping that he'll be available for selection again next game. So yeah, it was more like a tactical change more than anything else. But still, I think even Gema, when he came on, he gave us something. We still created a few chances that we could have taken, and we did not. Then lapse of concentration. Last 10 minutes game, then we concede, against the run of play. So it's one of those things. We're obviously looking for that progress, but it's also not good for us, to lose a game like we did today. At least we deserve a point, if not maximum points. But yeah, it's one of those things. That's football for you.
Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. #MSW.
What started out as a leap of faith turned into a journey into the history books. We did everything together, and I'm so grateful to everyone. I love you guys. I really, really do.
We love you too, and you're always going to be part of that family. And if we can't win, you should win.
Yeah, an emotional end there for Lewis Hamilton. It's Ferrari next year. Hey? I mean, what a joy, as they call it, this past weekend was for everyone who was attending the 2024 Formula One. The F1 season has been nothing short of exhilarating, delivering unexpected twists and fiercely competitive racing at every turn. Now, throughout the season, we've seen Max Verstappen dominating the tracks and also solidifying his position as the undisputed champion, winning his fourth consecutive driver's title with ease. However, it was not just Verstappen who shone this season. McLaren, they emerged as the powerhouse team, clinching the Constructors' Championship and also showcasing their strength on the racetrack. And of course, we cannot forget the other top contenders such as Ferrari and Mercedes, who together claimed an impressive 15 out of 24 races. Now, this is a stark contrast, though, to the previous season, back in 2023, where Red Bull dominated with 23 victories. And to fully dissect and analyze this extraordinary season, I'm joined by a renowned motorsport analyst, Thami Masemola. Thami, thank you so much for your time. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Robert, and thanks for having me.
Sure. How do you describe this season?
Beautiful chaos.
It was, though.
It really was.
What made it beautiful, though?
So there's a couple of things, more than a couple.
Yeah.
I think basically one of the things that has happened over this season, especially what you've previously mentioned, is that Red Bull have been shown to have chinks in the armor.
Yes.
They've dominated completely over the past 3 seasons, and nobody had a thought that they would actually be caught at all. And this season has shown that they can be caught and be beaten, and not just once. So it happened, several times this season, where there's a McLaren driver won. In fact, this season, 7 different drivers won Grand Prix, which is almost unheard of. actually. You had, I think Max Verstappen won the most, obviously, then he won the championship. I think he won 9 times. And then after him was probably Lando Norris with a few races of his own.
Sure.
And then there was George Russell, he won a race. Lewis Hamilton won a couple of races. Even Piastri won a race, which was, quite nice. So it showed that Red Bull, yes, they're still very strong, but the other teams are now catching up. And we're starting to see Formula One become a race again.
But what's causing that, though? Because the dominance was for a pretty long time, as we've seen with the Lewis Hamilton dominance, and then there was a speed wobble, something happened, and then, you were struggling after that, or the car was struggling. What brings that about? So if you're going to go through a season, you've got 7 different winners, and Red Bull's no longer dominating the way that we expect them to. Behind the scenes, what do you think is going on?
So it's all cyclical. If you remember, over the, how many years of Formula One now? 70 odd years of Formula One. 75 years, I think, now, Formula One, actually. You have teams that dominate for periods of time. You had the Mercedes dominance, you had Brabham, you had McLaren, Williams, Ferrari, Red Bull in recent times, McLaren again, Ferrari. So you have cyclical times when a team will dominate. And that is driven by several factors because Formula One is such a complicated sport. It's driven by technology, obviously the improvement of cars. It's driven by the drivers. You get the best drivers in the best car, you are more likely than not to win. And then you also have, obviously, budget issues. So the biggest teams normally have the best cars because they can hire the best engineers, they can test for longer, they can develop the best cars, they can pay the best drivers, and they have the best facilities. So normally that's how it works. I mean, almost like football.
The different cycles, hey? Maybe you're worried about Coach Nabi as well. Who knows? When we come back from the break, we continue our conversation here with Thami Masemola. He is our motor racing expert. I think anything to do with 4 wheels, this man, he knows it all. But you can also join the conversation. A lot of you, I know, are Formula One fan favorites and firm favorites as well. So please send us your WhatsApp voice note on 060-708-0484, 060-708-0484. Otherwise, just call us directly in studio. It's 011-8838-947.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
You could stuff your Christmas stocking with 5 million.
5 million rand?
Yes, Betfred's Nifty 50 Christmas special for just 25 rand. You get a Gifty 50 back.
Gifty 50?
You play 1 rand 5 times a day, giving you 5 chances at a 5 million rand payout every day.
Play Nifty 50 for 25 rand every day before Christmas and let your Gifty 50 take care of the rest.
Play now at betfred.co.za.
Betfred is licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18s are permitted to gamble. National Responsible Gambling Program on 0800 006 008. Winners know when to stop.
This is the drive that history promised, lined up next to 3 generations that paved the way. Now begins a new era of iconic. The 4th generation Suzuki Swift comes with cruise control, 6 airbags, hill hold control, and projector headlights. You also get the punchy 1.2-litre engine, which delivers class-leading fuel efficiency at just 4.4 litres per 100 kilometres. Feel iconic with the new Suzuki Swift from just 219,900. Visit suzukiauto.co.za to book a test drive. T's and C's apply.
Celebrate a Christmas like no other with Spar. Get all gold 700ml tomato sauce for just $31.99 with rewards card. Or Kellogg's 1 kg cornflakes for only $69.99 with rewards card. Prices valid from 9 to 24 December while stocks last. Celebrate a Christmas like no other with Spar.
Don't mind if I do.
The irony of ironies. My name is Choice, and I have trouble choosing. My outfits, they're always a mishmash of clothing because I can't choose. Then people say, "Ha'ana choice." And then don't get me started about when I go on a date. If I have to choose at movies, do I go with a rom-com as expected? Or a serial killer suspense movie that might raise all kinds of red flags? Even a new phone is a problem. Choosing a ringtone, it's a mission. Do I choose the one that goes, "Doot, or a more professional. Dang, 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 dee-da-dee-da. It's hard, this thing. Now I'm here at Chicken Licken, choosing between chicken pieces and hot wings.
Miss, you don't have to choose.
Oh.
You can get both and a loaf for $50.
Ooh, I'll have that.
Get 4 hot wings, a piece of chicken, and a Licken loaf for $50 with the Chicken Licken Soul Square meal. Chicken Licken, soul food.
Oh no, my daughter's low again. Fair to. Check out Capitec Connect's new bundles. Proper savings, just in time for Festive. Like 1 gig WhatsApp messaging prepaid for 25 Rand. Bay's been dropping gift hints in our chat. Well, shop online and use Capitec Pay to check out with just your phone number. Serious? 100%. And you can tap to pay, send cash and more. All on the Capitec app. Just like that.
Previously on Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Boto Teenage Dladla is in studio. I must be the first call, I think, in this platform to come from him. Mkhulu Sandila, good evening. Tso is here. Tso is here.
Yeah, you can be royal. Kumbula ujuluka edlala esiswini in the middle field. Umalombo ekhala ethe teenage. Kwakhale ingane. Wena uphendula uthi hey ayona ingane leni iphila imikhuba. Usakhumbula?
Hayi uhlupha ngabe ukujuluka Nkosi yami uzojuluka vele njengegama lakhe.
For you being inducted in the Hall of Fame, remember it's not everyone who can be inducted in that category. They inducted you because you are a legend. Jan Malombo Lishava.
Workaholic.
You kissed him though?
Yes.
Was that why Chiefs is called Love and Peace?
#MSW.
Good evening, Mr. Marawa. My Monday reaction, I'd like to say great performance by the young causer. He wasn't intimidated by the crowd. And also big up to Coach Marawa for making such a risk to introduce him in such a big match. And we played well. And a draw was enough. And my only concern, Mr. Marawa, is a player like Allende. He always loses the ball sometimes. And sometimes it tends to delay the attack on some occasions. I think Coach Marawa needs to sit down with Allende and explain his new role in the club. David in Parkwood.
Hi Rob, this is Tommy Ati from Edenvale. Greetings to you and greetings to MSW shareholders. What a weekend of football, Rob. Thanks to Orlando Pirates fans, they showed the passion, they showed the support. In fact, I cannot thank only Orlando Pirates supporters, but to the nation as a whole. I saw Kaizer Chiefs fans, Sundowns fans, Potters of this world. It was a true rainbow nation. Rob, what a game of football. That was displayed by both teams. They played according to their game plans. And unfortunately, Pirates didn't get the goals. But going to Sundowns, Rob, I don't see Mangoba lasting the whole season. I smell a Benny McCarthy there. It's a glory cop. With Kaizer Chiefs, I don't know what needs to be done. I thought maybe was this Messiah, but it seems the going is tough for him. It's not looking good for Kaizer Chiefs. Thanks, Rob.
Hi, Mr. Marawa. How are you, Robert? I do agree with one of the guys who just commented right now on the show. It's too early to judge Nabi. Nabi is a good coach. The difference that I see there at Chiefs, we're lacking players. We don't have players. And as you said before, professionalism, they don't have those boys. That team need to be restructured. Let's hope for January window when it comes. Nabi's going to have his own choice of players. At the end of the day, you can't blame the coach because he can't put his boots on and go on the field and score goals. Some of them are missing good, clean shots in front of the goal. Malvin here. Thanks, Rob. Nice show, man. Keep it up. Bye.
Good evening, Rob. I totally agree with the Woho. I don't think Chiefs is playing bad. I think we do get chances. We just don't convert them. I'm a bit worried about Magezi. I think they might get relegated at the end of the season. That's just my personal opinion, but I hope I might be wrong. Modise from Mutlagin.
Thanks, Modise, saying that Magesi is potentially going to get relegated come the end of the season. I don't know if you're in agreement with that. They are cup holders so far. And is that working against them? I don't know. You tell me. This is your Reaction Monday show. And also, Dr. Kanga says that I no longer know what Nabi is cooking. He says maybe it's time for him to come to the studio and account. I mean, he bought all the new defense plus the goalkeeper, and he changes his lineup every match. His players aren't motivated. Something bad is happening at Naturina. Thank you so much. What are your views? Right now, though, we're talking a sport that we all love so much. Maybe at times a very expensive sport for all of us to truly be able to get into an aeroplane and go and watch. But some have. And that is why we've got the renowned motorsport analyst in studio today, Thami Masemola, as we wrap up the season that was. That was Formula One. For you, I mean, what was the best moment of the season? Is there that one race that stands out?
Yeah, I think the British Grand Prix really stands out. For the simple reason that it was the first race that Lewis Hamilton won after almost 3 years of not winning. It was actually a very, very good race, and he performed very, very well. The last race, previous now, Abu Dhabi, also a very good race, a bit of drama. Last one for Hamilton and Mercedes-Benz. I think also Brazil was a really strong race, Sao Paulo, where we saw the reigning champion, the new champion, Max Verstappen, move from 17th, I think, to win the race. It was drama-filled, lots of rain, obviously, as it happens in Brazil. And I think it actually was a very turning point for Verstappen himself in the championship, because that's when I think he realized that he is still Max Verstappen. You know, that's when he got his groove back. That's when he got his confidence back. So those three, I think, for me, really stand out for this season.
And when you look at the last race, I mean, he didn't manage podium, Lewis Hamilton. He came in fourth, but it's a case of where he started. And having such a power race like that signifies what? I think from a mentality point of view, there must have been something going on in his head to say, you know what, I'll even overtake my teammate. I will end the way Lewis Hamilton maybe started his earlier career as a racer.
That's absolutely my opinion as well. I think his overtake on George Russell was to remind people that he is still Sir Lewis Hamilton, and he still got it. You know, people go, he's too old, he's washed out. That's why they, kicked him out of Mercedes. He wasn't actually kicked out. He was, let's say, he may have been put on pasture. They started offering him single-year contracts, etc. That also always signals that the team no longer values you as someone who should be kept. So that's probably one of the main reasons he actually left the team. But he showed them at the last race that he can still race.
But as a 7-time champion.
There you go. Some say 8th time. Well, controversially speaking, obviously.
Oh, yes.
But
lest we forget.
So, look, I mean, he can, if he gets the right car next year, if you look at the way Ferrari has performed this season, they actually have a car. They have a fast car. They may have made a few bungles in terms of, team decisions. Maybe they don't have the strongest leader in Charles Leclerc, to be honest. I thought when he came in, he would be quite a dominant force. But he has turned out to be, quite a damn squib, to be honest. So I think the arrival of Lewis next year is going to wake him up out of his French toast, and it's going to make him the Leclerc that we hoped he was in the beginning.
And the strength, I was going to ask you about the strength of the title winning, the MCL 38, and also some of the key improvements that were there in the design itself.
Yeah, so that car has been, it's been in the making, let's say, for the past 3 years. In fact, let's start from where it actually begins, which is the personnel. Mr. Zach Brown comes in, takes over the team. He changes people. He hires engineers, a couple of people from Red Bull. He hires a new team manager, Andrea, and he makes personnel changes, and he hires Piastri. And these are. I mean, Lando Norris has been there for 6 years. He's actually gotten frustrated. I think 2 seasons ago, he actually threatened to leave McLaren if they were not turned around. So I think that might have lit a bit of fire also on Mr. Brown's bum to say, listen, you have to do something. Otherwise, you're going to lose a very quick driver to somebody else. So all of these personal changes then started to filter into the car. And we saw the biggest changes, basically. There was a package that they introduced in Miami around May this year, where they basically changed around about 10, 11 things in the car, which were quite significant. Front end, rear end, air ducts on the side. They already ran the powerful 1.6 V6 engine from Mercedes-Benz. So, and they've also done quite a lot of wind tunnel testing. In fact, they've done more wind tunnel testing than the previous Constructors' Championship, which was Red Bull Racing. So they have put in the work over the past 3 seasons, and it's now culminating into this really, really powerful, well-balanced and very fast car.
I mean, moving away from technical into spicy, because that's how the season seemed to have ended with George Russell and Max Verstappen. I mean, Verstappen, there was major beef. It even got to a stage where Russell was claiming that Verstappen is a bully. And he said that, and he said he's not going to stand for that. I'm not sure if we've seen anything to this magnitude in the modern era of Formula One racing. And what do you make of it?
Yeah, it's actually worse than that. So the whole thing started at Qatar in qualifying, where Verstappen felt like Russell blocked him and, made him get blamed for an incident on the racetrack. And so when time for the stewards to have a look at the incident, Russell threw him under the bus, and Max basically says he lost respect of Russell from that point on, because he felt that Russell more or less lied on how he saw the situation and threw him under the bus. And in fact, that race was the one where Russell outqualified Max because of the incident between the two of them. And so it was kind of the beginning of the beef. In fact, it's worse than the what you are saying, because on the sidelines, Russell claims that Max threatened his life. He says Max said he would put his effing head, across the wall. Sure. Essentially, he said he would drive him into the wall. And that's, for me, that's a serious threat. If you think about the fact that, a sport like Formula One is extremely dangerous. People have died on the track. Sure. If you're going to threaten a driver like that, we obviously don't have the audio of that. It comes from Russell himself. But, I mean, if Max did say that, and I haven't heard him deny it, it's a very serious threat.
But then the authorities, for them to do nothing?
Yeah, so, with Max, it's kind of been a roller coaster ride. He often gets away with things, although recently we've seen him getting punitive measures from the stewards. But generally speaking, he's very much an active kind of wild child on the track.
So still the poster boy for them.
He is a poster boy, but he does get away with a lot on the track. And there's a lot of times where he almost, you feel like he's deliberately driving other drivers off the track or trying to intimidate them off the track. And this is what Russell's talking about. He's basically a bully on the track. He will describe it as racing. It's just normal racing. You see a gap, you take it. But somewhere, somehow, some of the drivers have started complaining about the way Max drives. So right now, we don't actually have anything, let's say, tangible to speak of, other than on-track incidents. But off the track, anything can happen, really.
I mean, for you, what is the biggest controversy of the season?
So for me, there's two biggest controversies, really. Number one, Hamilton's exit from Mercedes-Benz. I think basically nobody saw that coming. In fact, Toto Wolff himself, the team principal, didn't see it coming. He heard it from somebody else before he heard it from Lewis himself. So he didn't see that coming. Nobody saw it coming. And for him to move to Ferrari, look, I mean, Ferrari is the holy grail in Formula One. They're not doing well at the moment, obviously. But any driver worth his salt that knows that they have to be counted amongst the greats, you have to drive for Ferrari. The second one was Christian Horner's sexual misconduct accusations. That, I think, was a pivotal point in the performance that you see of Red Bull this season. It really turned that team around and destabilized them in many different ways. And I think one of the things that has happened is that they've lost a lot of good people who have said internally, look, we're not interested in being associated with this brand anymore because our leader has been pasted in this way. Yes, he was cleared of those accusations, but sometimes those things do linger on and they do affect the team.
Because it might have been seen as a rush to judgment to clear the name as opposed to really delving in and delving in hard and going through all the hard facts. Yes, they did have a hearing or they did look into it, but my feeling was you're just papering over the cracks.
Absolutely. And I think that is the part that has actually affected the team and his performance. I think morale is not as high as it used to be. And so people are leaving and people are not performing to their optimal level.
And I mean, as we say goodbye, and this was a long overdue conversation, you know this, Thami. So next season, because this thing never rests, this motorsport, it never rests, Formula One as well. What would you like to see happen in 2025?
So we kick off in Australia in March. I would like to see Sir Lewis Hamilton, obviously adorned in scarlet red, driving a Ferrari and winning races, number one. Yeah. That's what I'd like to see. And taking his 8th, some say 9th championship. I'd like to see very good fights between the top 4 teams, McLaren, Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. Really good fights. And I would like an announcement to be made about a certain racetrack in Midrand.
Kailami.
Yes.
Do you think we will?
I think we have a chance. I know that we have good competition from somewhere in Central Africa.
Competition from Rwanda.
Yes. We don't consider them as competition. They are strong. They could be strong. But I think we have the best racing track in Africa, the most classical, historical, and we do have Sir Lewis's backing.
But watch out for Rwanda. That's all I'm saying.
I am watching out, but my thing is that they don't even have a racing track.
They don't. Of course they don't. But you know what? Rwanda's going to have one.
Yes, and they're hosting a very big FIA meeting actually soon, which is nice for them.
It's happening this week. It's happening, I think, on the 13th.
Yeah, it's very sweet. Yeah, but we host big events, proper events, World Cups. We win World Cups as well. So,
but FIA is major.
Yes, so is Gaten McKenzie.
You believe that's a Paisani? Thanks so much, Thami. Don't answer that one. Thank you so much for joining us. Thami Masemola, motorsport analyst, sir. We appreciate you. Thank you very, very much indeed for your insight.
Arigato.
Thanks very much. Tune in again tomorrow for Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW live now on 947 Vuma.